Okay, I'm in my garage today, starting to warm up here, so I wanted to get this video done before it got any hotter. This is my Honda HRC216 commercial lawnmower. I bought this now just over a year ago. In fact, it's been a year and just about 3 or 4 days since I purchased it from my nearest Honda dealer. And since it's been a year, I wanted to go ahead and do the second oil change and then some other service, look at the manual, kind of get an idea of what should be done to the mower at this point. This mower probably has 50 hours on it, but honestly, I imagine it's maybe less than that. So it's not going to need much, and it probably doesn't even need an oil change. But if you remember, or have seen my previous video, I changed the oil pretty much as soon as I got the mower. I ran it once or twice, changed the oil. The oil was really poor quality, and then I replaced that oil with some synthetic. So being that it's been, I don't know, 20 or 30 hours since that point, I wanted to change it again and just kind of follow the manual that calls for changing the oil the first time after 20 hours. And then, after that, it'll be about 100, which will take 2 years, 3 years. But given that it's synthetic oil, I don't see any harm at that point. So this will be the last oil change for quite some time. And so I think I will spend this video talking about the mower, and then I'll cut off, put the mower on its side, drain the oil out, and I'll pick up once I've got the mower on its side, and then we'll drain the oil and fill it. So first things first, this is a great mower. Even Consumer Reports, who likes to find ways to put Honda down in rankings when they're clearly the best at this kind of power equipment, whether it's a generator, a snow blower, or whatever else, they rank the Honda mowers at the top of the list. And this is just basically a residential mower on steroids in terms of it has every good thing that the residential mower has, plus a bunch of more commercial features, a commercial engine, very, very heavy duty deck and frame. Really the only downside is that all comes with extra weight. So I don't have a lot of complaints. Really the biggest thing that annoys me is the wheels wobble. And that's because of somebody at the factory, had a bad day, maybe too many opioids in the morning, didn't put the bearings on straight. So the wheels wobble. They're tight, they're not going anywhere, but they wobble. So I'm going to go ahead and replace at least the 2 front wheels and see if I can get a pair that's straight. On the left front, the hub, or I guess, the hub, I guess you'd call it, axle, it has a burr on it, so it's been actually chewing into the bearing. So that wheel was going to need to be replaced anyway, because that bearing would eventually wore all the way through the rubber exterior of the bearing and then into the actual balls inside. Really, that's the biggest annoyance I have with it. I think on the handles, you can't see the top of the handles, but when I first got the mower, I added tape, some electrical tape actually, to the handles so that the metal wouldn't hit against the metal and chip the paint. So that was something I recognized that the metal was hitting, and I did that. And then I went ahead and did the same thing where the pull start loops in on the handles. So just to prevent kind of rust from happening, and if you keep paint on it, you don't have any chips, you'll be good. If you look good, look down at the side bumpers or the side guards on the deck, you'll notice that the right side has a scratch in it. That's from the first oil change when I did it without looking at the manual. The manual stated to put cardboard underneath it. I did learn that the hard way and put the cardboard under it after I already tilted the mower. So if you're going to tilt the mower, change the oil, do it that way. The deck, I just cleaned this thing up a little bit. It was obviously dusty and dirty because it's a lawnmower. I'm not going to sit here and do a video of it with it looking like, dusty and ugly. Cleaned it up. There's now some scratches on the deck from running it into bushes and plants, but no real areas of concern in terms of it wearing through. And overall, cleans up. If you were to buy this mower new, you wouldn't really bat an eye. So no oxidation, no rust that I see. Once I change the oil, I'll go ahead and flip the mower around, and you can and show you guys the bottom side of the mower. Look at the blades, see how they look after a year, and we'll go from there. Mower has plenty of power, no issues there. But there is some kind of a problem with the speed control in the hydrostatic transmission. It's supposed to go 4 miles per hour at its top speed, and I'm getting like 60% of that. So I think I need to adjust something, but I'll have to look at the shop manual, which I do have, in order to adjust that. It's just slow, and so that hopefully there's no major issue there, but the mower's under warranty since I'm a residential user, and I think I've got at least another year or two before it'll be out of warranty. So we'll take a look at that. Maybe pop the cover off of the hydrostatic transmission, just show you where it's at, check the fluid, just make sure everything there is good to go, and we'll just kind of see. But I mean, overall, if you're going to buy a push mower and you don't want batteries, I don't want batteries. If you're like me, this is really the ultimate. There's, if you're going to already spend $800, $900 for a home version, might as well just go and spend a couple $100 extra, get a mower you'll never have to replace, get a mower that you'll probably not be able to buy in a few years, especially if you're in a more progressive coastal state. Because if they're going to ban sales of new cars, I guarantee you they'll be banning the sale of these petrochemical, hydrocarbon-powered lawnmowers very quickly as well. So I'm talking trimmers, I'm talking mowers, really anything that runs on gasoline that's a small engine is probably not going to be available in the coming years. That's just kind of how I project it happening. I've been told that right now for 2021, these HRC216s are having a hard time passing emissions here in the state. So the state has a way of banning things without explicitly banning them. They just make the emissions standards so impossible that no brand will be able to pass them without some crazy, expensive fix that nobody would be able to stomach. So hopefully they get these mowers through inspection or whatever certification they need for this year, so that people can buy them, since we're just coming out of a pandemic and still have a very high unemployment rate given everything that's happened. I don't think now is the time to be doing that kind of holding up tools that are essential for many people's livelihoods. So if you've experienced this issue, if you haven't been able to buy one of these mowers and are looking to replace it, please let me know. If I get enough of you together, maybe we'll get together and send a note to Sacramento and see what the holdup is. So I think for now, I'll quit preaching and get this mower on its side, get the drip pan under it, and let's drain the oil out. I think I used AMSOIL, the small engine synthetic, and on the dipstick it looked fine. So we'll see how it looks in the pan. The first oil change looked very glittery. I was very displeased with the quality of that oil. I know this will be better. This engine is also cooler than that engine was. So I'll stop here, get the mower on its side, and I'll pick right back up again. Okay, so we've got the mower on its side here, on the cardboard. Now I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up here, try not to get oil on my hands. Should have worn gloves. Yeah, so much better this time. But I still have oily fingers. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely some gas in this too. And a little glittery once again. Not nearly as bad this time, but alright, I'll let this drain and come back out here. We'll take a look at the oil. Okay, I think it's almost done here. What I'll go ahead and do is I'll kind of splash it back and forth, and you can see a little bit of the glitteriness of it. Not nearly as bad as it was the first time around, but yeah, definitely some pretty noticeable little glittery flakes of metal. Doing a little bit of quick research. This is, I guess, normal. Not something you want to see in an engine, but if Honda says it's normal and they have, then I guess it's normal. So I would assume that after now the next oil change, this should be very much not a thing. Part of the reason why this happens is that, you know, these engines don't have oil filters, so anything that comes off the engine kind of just stays in the oil and then ends up in the oil pan when you change the oil. So much better quality oil this time, at least. So that's helpful to know that this stuff didn't just break down into nothing. But we will let her drip. There's a couple drips still coming out of it, so we'll let it sit here a little while longer. I'll get it back upright and I will fill it up. I think part of the reason why I smell gas is that I have moved this mower a few times without turning off the gas valve, so that's likely on me. So if I were to make sure to turn that on and off as I'm supposed to, then I would imagine there wouldn't be the smell of gas as strongly in this oil. All right, if you've seen me or seen my other video, you've seen me do this before. This time I'm going to go a little bit less on the oil and we'll dipstick it and see what the level is to kind of, I guess, take into account the oil left inside the engine. So this engine takes about 7/10 of a quart. I'm going to go ahead and put just a little above 600 milliliters in it, which ends up being 1 quart's about 950 milliliters. So it'll be just shy of 70% and 70% of the bottle. And we'll see where that gets us. So this is the AMS oil, 100% synthetic small engine oil. It's not, you don't have to use this, but here's what I had. Excuse the cat. She's not gonna stop. Out of here. Right on the paint. Okay. Looks like it puts us right about the perfect level there. Yeah. So if you drain this engine out, you really only need to put in, it's measured out here. So if you put in 600 milliliters, that should just about fill you up. Because I overfilled it the last time and I put in exactly the oil capacity, which did not obviously account for whatever was left in the engine. So oil's changed, we'll pull her outside, start it up, see how she sounds, and then we'll take a look at some other things. So I believe I turned off the fuel supply, so we'll move this into the choke position, and let's go ahead and see. Here we go. You can see the diagram here. So it's in the off position, flip it to on, and now should go ahead and pull. Let's see if I can get this on the first try. Okay, I'm out here in the garage again after running the engine. It's a couple days later. I ran out of time the other day to do the rest of this video. So this part of this is going to be going off of a comment I received on the oil change video about how to check the hydrostatic transmission. So we're going to do that. First thing you want to do is go ahead and put the rear wheels at their highest setting, and that gives you access to the transmission from underneath the cover here. So we'll lift the cover up, and you want to go ahead and figure out a way to wedge it so that it's not coming down on top of you, so you don't have to hold it up the entire time. So I'll go ahead and stick a piece of cardboard under it in between the bars to hold it up. And then you're going to see this cover on the left hand side. Once you go ahead and remove that cover, there's one screw. You get an Allen wrench and remove it. The size is not correct in the service manual. At least I don't think it even gave a size. So just an Allen wrench, whatever set you have it, you should find the right size. I don't recall what it was. Unscrew that. I've already done part of it, and we'll remove this cover. Now make sure, yeah, exactly. Make sure this clip that's underneath it doesn't fall through, or if it does fall through, make sure you grab it, which I will after the conclusion of this video. When I opened this up the first time, this was completely caked in dirt and dust, likely due to a little bit of residual oil, hydrostatic fluid that, you know, when they filled it, they didn't wipe it up completely. So you want to go ahead and, this is important, clean the entire area around there. You don't want any dirt getting inside of that transmission. You want it to be as clean as possible. So first thing you want to do then is we can go ahead and just check the fluid. Okay, so I've already cleaned this thing off. So once I pull this out, the level is going to be correct since I haven't moved it since then. Okay, so let's see if we can get to zoom. So it's full. There's no issues there. So you can see around the cap is still a little bit dirty, but most of it's gone. But as you can tell, you know, the fluid is where it's supposed to be. So we'll put that back. We're good there. This is not something that has to be changed, I think, for 500 hours. And when you do change it, you want to be sure to buy the Honda stuff, because this is a hydrostatic transmission. This just isn't any old transmission. So you want to get the Honda stuff. It's not super cheap, and it's not very expensive considering it lasts for 500 hours. But I'm sure there's definitely this is one of those things where it's a special formulation for this type of transmission. Next thing you want to do is check the cabling. I'm on a tripod right now, so I won't be able to show you the control. But what you want to basically do here is move the yellow lever, the speed of the self-propelled system all the way back. All right, and then you want to go ahead and activate the clutch and pull this back. And then what you should see, it's hard to pick up, so I'm going to go ahead and take you off the tripod here. All right, got you off the tripod. So what you want to see is you want to look here for this notch here. On the slowest speed with the clutch depressed, so as if you were going forward, you want to see the notch here on this lever match up with this notch here. So I will try to reach and do it. This is a little awkward. Okay. God, it'll focus here. All right, so you can see they match up even though it's not perfectly clear. So as far as I can tell, there are no issues with the transmission, at least in terms of what it asks you to check. and set in the service manual. So the next thing I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna stop the video, I think, at this point. And it's already pretty long. It covers a lot of things. I still need to figure out why it's slow. I've ordered a tach in order to see what the engine speed is, and that very well could be the issue here. And once I receive that, I will make another part to this video. So in the meantime, please ask any questions that you might have. And as always, I appreciate a subscription. Just hit the subscribe button. I'm going to continue to post about this mower as issues come up or questions are asked. And I kind of enjoy this kind of thing, just getting inside of items and fixing them and showing others how to fix them if they need to do it. And I don't make any money off of this channel, but I think quality products should be promoted, and this is certainly a quality product. And if you want your buy it for life mower, this is, I think, hands down the one you want. Thanks.